I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. We are continuing with our reading in the Gospels. Christ is once again back in Galilee where he is preaching. He has ordained his 12 apostles, starting to organize the church. But a large multitude from all regions have gathered around, and we are now reading the great Sermon on the Mount. In our last few videos, we read the beginning part, the Beatitudes, beautiful passages, and then being the salt of the earth and the light of the world. We are now going to return to Matthew chapter 5 in the King James, and we're going to read verses 17 through 32. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. So this is the first part here. A lot of people seem to have had the idea that Christ was just completely nullifying everything that came before him. And Christ isn't. This is still the same religion. This is still the same God. We still approach him and worship him in the same way that men have done from the beginning, from the time of Adam. But he has come to fulfill the law. The purpose, when he talks about here, the law and the prophets, when he talks that phrase, that's talking the law is the 5 books of Moses. That's what would be called the law. And then the prophets are everything else in the Old Testament, except possibly the writings, which would be, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Job, those books. But what we call the histories and the prophets are all just called the prophets at this time. And so that's what Christ is talking about. He's saying, I'm not come to destroy this, but he has come to fulfill. And the purpose of the law of Moses, which was added to the law of the covenant, was to prepare the people for the coming of Christ. Its purpose is fulfilled in Christ, but not until after his resurrection. And once its purpose is fulfilled, it is no longer necessary. But he's not destroying it. He's not getting rid of it. He's not saying this was no good. He is saying that its purpose is done. And so that's why he also says, don't teach anybody that they can stop following these laws. They're not fulfilled yet. You still have to follow the law of Moses. But you also need to be more righteous than the scribes and Pharisees. You need to know the meaning behind the law. You need to understand why the law is given, so that when it is fulfilled, you can move forward. But now we continue in verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said of them of old time, Thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raca, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence, till thou hast paid the utmost farthing. This begins Christ's restoration of the higher law. Under the law of Moses, we had kind of a baseline. This was, as the old conference talk says, there's good, but then there's better, and there's best. The law of Moses was good. Christ is trying to teach the best. And so it's not just, killing somebody is bad, yes, wanting to kill them, being angry at them, desiring their hurt is bad. Raca, that term there, that's in the footnotes, we read that it's a word suggesting contempt or derision in both Aramaic and Greek. So this is an insult. It's like calling somebody a dog. That's bad enough. But it is that kind of contempt for other people that Christ is speaking against. And when it says agree with thine adversary quickly, this isn't talking about being, tell him he's right. It's be kindly disposed to him. Don't get angry. If somebody is attacking you and assaulting you and just being annoying, pray for them. Don't get angry. Don't retaliate against them. Just let it go. And that's what he's talking about here. But let us continue, verse 27. Ye have heard that it was said of them of old time, Thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. It hath been said, Whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery, and whosoever shall marry her that is divorced, committeth adultery. Again, the higher law is, the law of Moses was don't do this. The higher law, as Christ is teaching, is don't think this. It is no longer, don't have an affair, don't commit the act of adultery. Now it's don't think about committing the act of adultery. Don't desire to commit adultery. That's what he's talking about. He's not talking about fleeting thoughts that come into your mind and you drive them out. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about looking and wanting. Now he also has this kind of in the middle there, if thy right hand offend thee, if thy right eye offend thee, cut it off and all that. This is talking about your associations. Your eye is like your family, your hand is your friends. If somebody that is an associate of yours is driving you into wickedness, is trying to convince you or tempt you into committing unlawful acts, then cut association with them. Sever ties, get them out of your life. It is better that you save your own soul than that you allow yourself to be dragged down to hell by your family and friends. I'm going to leave that one here. We're going to read the Joseph Smith translation for this portion next before we continue with our reading of the Sermon on the Mount. So I will see you there.